Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a gusset binding. Before I sewed in signatures, this is the most common binding I would do. I used to create and design many mini albums, which are just basically junk journals that are more themed and have more straight lines, I would say. At any rate, this particular one looks fairly wonky because in order to teach this process, I like to teach it where I score everything at 1 inch. So watch this one all the way through. It shouldn't take us very long. And then I'm going to suggest that you make your first one doing everything at 1/2 inch. And let me kind of show you a little bit of the detail about that. This project happens to be made out of Dollar Tree items. And I was kind of shuffling through the rest of my supplies, trying to put some things away. And I realized I wanted to make something with these, I keep calling them postcards, but they're like wall collage cards as the front and back cover. And so this is 6x4, so we're going to use that kind of as our guide. I'm going to take a piece of the construction paper and I'm going to cut it down. The construction paper is not 8.5 by 11. It is like 9 by 12. So we're going to cut down to 6 inches high to match the height of our card. And then the last cuts would be made by figuring out how many pages you want. As I kind of go through it, I'll explain more about that. But for now, I'm just going to use this natural length of this paper, which is 9 inches, I believe. Let's check it. Yes, it's 9 inches. So we're going to take our piece of construction paper and we're going to put it the long way into our scoreboard. My scoreboard happens to be 12 inches. I used to use a lot of 12-inch paper, but you can definitely figure out how to do this with a smaller scoreboard. Also, you don't need a scoreboard. You can just make some tick marks at 1 inch and then fold it. Again, the reason I'm doing everything at 1 inch for this step is because it is easier to kind of show and explain the process. Let's see here, there we go. It is easier to show and explain the process when each of my gussets are a little wider. So right now I'm going to score at every inch. When you're ready to do yours, I would suggest you score at every 1/2 inch, and it'll be the same process all the way across. Please note that this is fairly lightweight. It is like a standard construction paper. Do we even reference construction paper by paper weight? At any rate, this paper is light. It's easy to fold and easy to work with. This technique is easy with almost, like, I've used up to 110-pound cardstock. Anything beyond that might be too tight when you're folding it, but definitely use lighter or heavier paper. I used to, when I first did this, I practiced a few times with regular paper. This was years ago, like copy paper. So So the technique really is this piece, and then at the end we're going to decorate it. Okay, for this part we just want to fold all of these score marks. Just fold them all in the same direction. Doesn't matter at this point. We're going to change a few of them as we go, but just get them folded. You don't even have to burnish really hard. We just kind of want to move the paper a little bit and make it easy for us to find the score marks as we go. So the first thing that I'm going to do for the purposes of this demonstration is I'm going to number each section. So each 1 inch section, I'm going to number, and we're going to call the part of with the numbers on it, this side of the paper, we're going to call it the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys know numbers, right? At least this many. 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I don't do this numbering part unless I'm demonstrating, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to fold this into a book binding. And if you can see here, I basically have the piece of pink cardstock that makes up this binding. It starts here, it goes up like this, it goes up like this, and then it goes up like this. So that's what we're trying to create, is a series of U's that we can use as the tabs. So I am going to fold this first one up. And I'm not going to do it yet, but this is where my front cover is going to go. Just like that. So that's tab 1, or column 1, section 1. Section 2 is the gusset, so that lays flat against the table. And so section 3 and 4 are going to make our first page. So we're going to flip it over to the back and glue section 3 to section 4. You can use whatever adhesive works for you. I'm using my Tombow glue stick. And you want to make sure that you get glue all the way up to the end, because we are going to not only create the tabs for the pages, but we're going to kind of secure the spine, the outside spine as well. So there we go. So now we have the first page where my cover goes. We have a gusset, which is part of the spine piece. We have sections 3 and 4 glued together on the back, so that makes our next page. So this is what we have so far. It's like a U. Section 5 is another part of the spine. It's another thing that I call a gusset, and it is going to lay flat. So next we're going to fold up section 6 and fold down section 7. We're going to flip it over. And glue those two sections together. You maybe want to be precise about it. Okay, turn it back around. Now we have our second page. So we have that. And then this one we're just going to fold up, and it's going to be the back cover. I don't know if that's going to make any sense. There we go. That shows it a little better. So as you can see, you can do these score marks. Usually it's easier to do them all the same. So I did everything an inch here. If I were wanting tall tabs for my pages, I might do these two sections at an inch, but the section in between at a half inch. There's a lot of math that you can do, but make your first one using the same dimension for your score all the way across. And that way you can kind of get a feel for how it comes together, and then you can adjust your sizes as you go, just depending on your project. You can do this with really long sheets of paper. You can even do this with 2 pieces of paper connected together if you need something very long. So let me show you how this works out then. Okay, now we're going to take each of our pages. Now remember, these 3 are basically the spine. So we have the front cover. Let me do this way again. We have a cover, we have our first page, our second page, and another cover. So these 3, this is the back side, make up the spine. We're going to angle cut each one of the covers and pages just to take away some of that paper. And it keeps you from having to worry too much about the top and the bottom as you're gluing things in. Oh, forgot this one. All right, now I have a few pages, 4 pages of the copy paper that I sprayed. I dyed with the Hawaiian Punch. Again, these supplies are all ones that I've been using in the Dollar Tree Junk Journal Challenge. But really this video is more about this, this technique that I think you can take with you and kind of adjust it to make it your own. I have a number of sheets here that are 8 by 6. There are different ways that I've seen people do this part. One thing you can do is build the front and back of each page separately. For example, you can take one photo or one postcard and glue it to make the front, sandwich that tab in the middle, and glue another one for the back, and then you have a front and back page. This seems to be a fairly easy way to create pages by taking one sheet of paper, folding it in the middle, and gluing it down just like this. So let's do that. And you can do this, you can glue it all the way across. I think for the front cover, I'm going to glue the whole thing. And the pages in the middle, I'm going to make pockets out of those. So And this is just copy weight paper. I'm going to take it, put it on the inside first. So I'm going to kind of line it up with that fold. I'm going to take this, fold it over. Need a little more glue right here. I'm going to do that for the other 3 pages. So much for attention to detail. There we go. So we now have all 4 of our pages. And just to kind of hold all of this together, I'm going to take this piece of construction paper and cut it down to the dimensions here. I'm sorry, here. Of course, on your book, you can, if you're using a heavier cardstock or scrapbook paper, you may not need to put an extra piece across the back of the spine here. There we go. This one hangs over the front a little, so I'm just going to fold this over. Going to add a tiny bit of glue in there. Probably better to use wet glue instead of the stick, but that's what I did. And glue on our covers. There we go. I might cut that down a little bit just because it's not straight. And the back cover. And there we go. There's the front of our book. There's the first gusset, the first page, the second gusset, the second page, the third gusset, the back page. These two have pockets. Just because of the way we glued them, you don't have to make pockets for yours. And that's that. So if you have questions about the gusset binding, just let me know in the comments. I am happy to do this live with you if you would prefer, if that makes it easier. Also, I can, I'm going to link one or two other videos below where I also demonstrate this gusset binding. They're older videos, so they, I believe, would all be for some scrapbook paper mini albums. So you'll be able to see some of that too if you're into it. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.